Generating leads and qualified sales appointments? Well, honestly, that's the easiest thing ever. No, I'm not joking. You see, till date in the last 10 years or so, I have generated thousands and thousands of leads for my own business, which turned into qualified sales appointments, which we converted into sales that paid us thousands and thousands of dollars for my agency business as well as my coaching and consulting business. Well, all this happened just by following a few simple steps and the right kind of strategy, which allowed me to get the results that I have achieved. In fact, these are the exact steps and strategies that I have taught to well over 1600 clients of mine who have really implemented the exact thing in order to generate leads and qualified appointments. And guess what? In this video, I'm going to be revealing exactly that strategy to you so that you can generate consistent, predictable, and reliable leads and appointments whenever you want and whenever you desire. So without waiting anymore, let's get straight into the video where I'm going to be revealing the best outreach strategy for your agency or coaching business. So the contents of this lesson would look something like this. Number one, you'll be learning about what exactly is cold approach, why you should care, and why this method is so powerful. Then I'll be teaching you the framework behind cold approach, how exactly does it work, the step-by-step overview of it as well. Then I'll be giving you this exact step-by-step guide of generating sales calls using this particular method. That you can begin implementing right after watching this, right? So imagine, okay, I want you to literally imagine as if whatever your goal is of making this month, right? Whatever money you want to make this month, okay? Imagine that's what is lying at the end of this video, okay? So just if you complete this and you implement every single thing that I'm telling you, you will be able to attain that, or at least you will have a step-by-step path towards achieving that revenue, whatever goal that you have set for yourself. So that's why I want you to pay attention to it. And then I'll be giving you the cold approach KPIs and the visual map of how exactly this would work. I'll give you how you can go about tracking this entire activities of yours so that we know that you are going in the right direction. You are taking progress every single day towards the goal that we have of whatever revenue that you want to make. And that being said, let's just get started. What exactly is cold approach? So cold approach is a type of an outbound method where we find the email addresses or find a database of our target customers online, and then we collect the same, right? And then we approach our clients with a personalized, unsolicited email. Okay. So what we are going to do is we're going to find a database of our clients online. And then what we are going to do is we are going to collect the email addresses from that database. And then we are going to approach these clients with the goal of generating a call with them and hopefully closing them. And the objective is very simple of this method. It's to gauge the interest of our prospects with our email and get them to book a call with us and hopefully buy whatever we are selling or advisor services. And why you should use this approach? Because this is probably one of the most powerful marketing strategies that I have learned throughout my career. Okay, first one would be in terms of marketing, first would be inbound paid marketing. That's like, God's gift to me. And then the second one is this cold approach that I'm about to teach you. Okay, you'll be learning about inbound paid marketing later, but for now, stick with this because this is exactly how I started out. And I have used this method to generate highly qualified sales calls, signed high ticket clients, approach millionaires for interviews, and build really, really powerful connections. That's how awesome this approach is. And once you have mastered this process, you will have the ability to literally reach out to anyone in the entire world whenever you want. Number two, this approach allows you to select the type of individuals you wish to work with and then reach out to them easily. Sending emails to potential prospects on a regular basis would allow you to keep your pipeline filled with highly qualified strategy sessions or highly qualified sales calls that we would hopefully close. So very highly recommend using this approach. And I just want to share with you some proof of me signing high ticket clients before starting UAbility using this approach. And as you can see, this is the exact email that I sent to one of these prospects when I was literally starting out. Not starting out, but like at least I think I was at a better stage then. I was doing well then actually. Regardless, I couldn't find the exact templates of from day one, but still it's proof that it works. I've used it. Approach this person Mark, who's an owner of a very successful company, probably making easily upwards of 7 figures in USD. And I sent him an email. And as you can see, there's some body over here. And don't worry about the template and what exactly it is about and everything. I'm going to tell you literally every single thing in this video. But for now, just pay attention to the fact that, look, how I just sent an email to this person and how it's like personalized, it has this company's name, it has a marketing plan and all those things. And I sent it to this person with the goal of generating a call. This email has a call to action that I said, hey, I know about your problem. I know where you're stuck, which is island number 1. I know where you want to go, which is island number 2. And I can help you solve that with the help of my boat, which is my MVP. So that's literally what I said to this individual. And they responded back to me and they said, like, I'm down. Like, even though they said that majority of their revenue comes from their website, they were still open towards, applying our approach and hearing more about it. And that's what allowed me to really get them on a call, make them understand why my approach in marketing is better, and eventually close them as a client, right? So as you can see, they replied back to me. And what I did was I replied back to them and said that, yeah, that sounds awesome. I would love to actually get on a call with you, get on a call to discuss more about this. I would love to know more about your game plan for DevSlopes, whatever their company is. Here's my calendar, right? I could send them a link or I could just manually ask them, whatever your preference is. And they say, hey, Rohan, I scheduled it with you on Friday. I don't do well with schedules, especially the ones that are a few days ahead. So it would be great if you just ping me over here or remind me, okay? So this basically shows that I was able to reach out to an absolute stranger, a person who had never heard about me before. I got their email address from the database, which I'll show you how to do so. And then I sent an email to them. They replied back to me, right? And what I did was I immediately replied back to them by asking them to let's book a call. And on the call, I basically did a discovery and then a sales call, and then I ended up closing them. Okay, that's literally how it worked. So who is this approach suited for? Like, who exactly should use this approach? Well, if your niche owns some kind of business and they have somewhat of an online presence, because it's important that, for us to approach somebody, they need to have their email address somewhere on the internet, right? Because if somebody is like online zombie, like that's very rare, because in today's time almost everyone is online. It would be difficult to get their email. So it's business owners are very likely to share their emails, obviously, because they want their clients to contact them. That's why it's easier to approach them. Number 2, they have listed their emails online. Maybe they have a website on their own. Maybe they are listed on some sort of aggregator website, like maybe they are on Yelp, maybe they are on Just Dial, maybe they are on Magic Bricks, maybe somewhere on the internet where there's a database of these particular individuals online. And this could also be some other website to which they might be associated with. Maybe they work for Tata and, or maybe they work for Apple and they have their website, their email and everything on Apple's website or Tata's website, right? Maybe they have a YouTube channel, right? Maybe they have their email on Instagram, maybe a blog. There must be somewhere that they might be sharing their email address for sure. And we need to kind of have that as a given, a prerequisite. So please note that if you're unable to find emails of your target market online, and please don't give up on this process easily. Please, I highly recommend you give it one shot at least, right? Try it out for 30 days to 60 days minimum and see. Then if you are unable to in case find, emails and stuff, you could try out social media prospecting, which is taught later on in this week. I'll show you how to find these people on social media. If they're not here, they will definitely be on social media. They can't escape us. Don't worry about it. We will find out where they exactly hang out. But the point is, if they share their email address online, it's very easy to approach them using this method that I'm about to teach you. And the main reason why you would want to work or use the social media approach that I'll teach you later is probably because if you're targeting employees, homemakers, students, or anybody who doesn't really share their email address online. I mean, I'm sure there might be a database of students as well, or their parents, maybe they're a business owner or somewhere. They might be sharing their emails 100% for sure. But let's say in a rare circumstance, you did every single thing possible, and for these certain people, you are unable to find their email. Do not panic. In the social media prospecting video, I'm going to show you exactly how to go about
finding these people and contacting them. But regardless, if you think the likelihood of your niche sharing their email on the internet is high, then that's great news for you, because this approach will work wonders for you. And then one more last thing that I would like to point out, it's not necessary that your niche might be directly sharing their email. Chances are somebody indirectly associated to your niche might be sharing their emails. For example, if you're targeting students, maybe their parents are sharing their email address. If you're targeting, let's say, husbands, maybe their wives are sharing their email address because they are business owners. Or if let's say, you can also form alliances and partnerships. Let's say if you offer Facebook ad services, you could maybe find emails of, let's say, somebody offering website development, right? If you are targeting you help students prepare for higher end exams, go to their dream colleges, maybe you can partner up with somebody who helps students, prepare for 12 standard boards, right? So I'm sure that you would be able to find direct or indirect emails of your target audience on the internet. So please give it a shot and follow this throughout, because this has the tendency to make you a lot of money. It has done for me. That's why I'm sharing this gift with you. Hopefully you don't let it go to waste. So here are the pros and cons. Now, pro is simple. You can control the number of leads you generate daily and the number of people you contact. You can get the answer directly from them, whether it's a yes or a no, that are they interested? Do they want to move forward? Do they want to get on a call with us? Otherwise, they won't reply to us, or they'll just simply say no, right? So it's very helpful. And you can also pick and choose the kind of people that you want to contact. Let's say that you don't want to work with a certain type of client who doesn't have money. Well, the answer is simple. Just don't approach them. It's a given, right? So that's pretty helpful. And the con of this approach is, as I said, it's become kind of common, this approach, because you just see the amount of emails you get in your inbox every single day. However, do not worry at all, because in this lecture I'm going to show you how to differentiate yourself, how to make your emails personalized so that you stand out from the crowd and your clients actually respond back to you. However, if you don't follow that differentiation factor, if you don't follow the personalization factor, and if you don't follow this lecture exactly the way it is, then you are going to end up in trouble, and this approach won't work for you. It's a fact. And then a lot of people ask, like, Rohan, is cold approach legal? Like, can I email these people? Like, should I do that? The fact is that it's totally legal as long as you follow the guidelines below. Don't use unclear header information. Like, don't, just write weird things in your header or in your subject. And if you follow the templates that I'll be giving you, like, don't worry at all. And don't use misleading subject lines, right? Don't write something weird, that, hey, you can just make 10,000 USD just by clicking on this link. Don't do something like that. Or Prince from Nigeria is waiting for you to transfer a lot of money. Don't do any of that stuff. Include your location, address in your emails, maybe a website, maybe it's a good idea if you can also include your office address at the end. That's I've noticed has been very, very helpful. You also need to include an unsubscribe link so that people can click on a link and just unsubscribe to your mails if they are not liking what you're sending. And I teach you how to set up an unsubscribe link in your emails as well later on, and tell people exactly how to opt out of your messages. And that's done with the unsubscribe link, basically, that I just taught you above. Disclose your message as an advertisement that, I recently came across you on this platform, and I'm here to actually help you out with this thing. Like, make it clear. Don't like beat around the bush that, hey, just forming like indirect conversations, which are just not cool. And know who is responsible. Exactly. Very, very important. So just follow those guidelines, and don't worry, if you're following this lecture exactly to the T, then you won't face those issues. Now let's talk about how exactly does cold approach work. Well, this is the exact map that you see, and I've discussed about this before as well in the outbound lecture introduction, but let me just give a quick overview of it again. So here's the first step. You'll be making a hypothesis regarding where exactly would our target audience share their email address on the internet. Where exactly could they share that? Number two, we'll be preparing, right? What we will do is we'll prepare a list of all those websites, resources, database, where exactly they'll be sharing that. And then what we'll also be doing is we'll be preparing to send these people an email. This means we have to have our professional email ready. Like, hello@rohanthavan.com. We can't just send an email to somebody with a Gmail email or something, right? And then we also have to do something which is called as warming up our email. just so that it doesn't land in their spam folder. And don't worry about that. I'll teach you about how to warm up your emails later on. But the fact is that's what we are doing. We are preparing to start contacting these people. And then once we have made the hypothesis, once we have prepared ourselves, then the next step is collecting. So this is the process where we will go about collecting the emails of these people, scraping out data from the internet with the help of different kind of tools and methods that I'll be teaching you. And then once we have made a list of all these emails together, then what we will do is we will start approaching these people. We will start contacting them using a mass email campaign so that our emails are personalized, and at the same time we don't have to send them one by one. It could actually land to our target client's inbox as fast as possible. And then if once we have approached, there would be certain people who reply back to us. And if they are, if you think that, okay, this person requires qualification, let me just do a quick 15-minute call with them. Then you invite them to a discovery call where you basically introduce yourself. Hey, Rohan here, and this is what I help dash to dash, basically your marketing message. First, you're giving a quick introduction, and then you're qualifying them by asking them simple questions. Hey, can you tell me a little bit more about what exactly you need help with? And then asking questions to see if they are a good fit for you. Can you actually help them out? Because if you can't help them out and if they are not a good fit for you, then it's no point moving them forward to the next step, which is the sales call. Over here, you can disqualify them, right? But if they are qualified and if they are a good fit for you, then you move them to the next step and do a sales call with them, which would last around 45 to 60 minutes. Again, I'll teach you exactly what to say on these calls and everything later on. But the fact is that you'll get on these calls, you'll talk to these people, and if they are a good fit for you, you will close the deal, which is step number 7, right? You will send them the payment information, you will close the deal on the phone, things will go smoothly, and things will work out. And lastly, you would notice that certain people won't buy from you. Certain people won't respond to your emails. Certain people won't open them even. So what do we do with them? Should we just leave them? Should we just let our efforts of collecting that database go to waste? Absolutely not. We keep sending them follow-up emails again and again till the time they are, likely to book a call. And I would recommend sending around 3 to 4 emails. So this is how the approach will work. This is a high-level overview of it. Now, before we get into the micro details of every single step, I just wanted to give you this quick picture so that you kind of have this idea in your head what exactly will be going on in this cold approach lecture. So let's break down each step, right? So hypothesis, as I just told you, ask yourself, if I was my potential client, where on the internet would I share my contact information? Your goal is to find out websites where your potential clients might be sharing their contact information. And you can refer to the client access channel worksheet, which we covered in week number 1 for this particular information. Maybe there are certain blogs, maybe there are Facebook groups, maybe there's Magic Bricks, Yelp, Just Dial, Groupon.com, anywhere that they might be sharing their information, which would allow us to retrieve their email from. So very, very important that you make this assumption. And step number 2 is that we have to ensure that we have Google Workspace set up. This means we have a professional email set up like hello@rohanthavan.com. If you don't have that, you should probably go to the setting up your website lecture and learn how to get this. Regardless, I'll cover this as well. And make sure that you warm up your email account right after that. Basically what ends up happening is when we start a new email account, right, if we just start sending hundreds and hundreds of emails to somebody, right, our emails would just go to spam because Google will be like, oh my god, this person is using this as a promotional activity, they are misusing my tool. So we don't have to appear like a spam bot, right? We have to look like a genuine human being. That's why we warm up our email accounts, which I'll show you how to do as well. And then we download something called as YAM, which stands for Yet Another Mail Merge, which is a software that we will be using to send bulk emails. And step number 3 is collecting. Now it's time to collect the data of our target audience from the root website that we identified in step number 1. So there might be websites, there might be Google, there might be somewhere that they might be sharing their information online. We must add the same to a spreadsheet, right? Because now we are collecting emails, so we are scraping data. So we must go to that website, get their email and add it to our spreadsheet so that we could send these bulk emails later on. And step number 4 is, this is where we create our bulk email template, add variables to personalize our email. Our goal is to send it at bulk, right? So if we try to send it one by one, it's going to be a lot of time. But at the same time, we don't want to send some generic email. We want it to be personalized, right? So I'm going to show you how to make your emails personalized at mass scale when we start approaching, and we will make sure that we do it legally, right? And then we will blast it off to our list. That's what we will do, that we collected in step number 3. So all the people that we collected in a spreadsheet in step number 3, we will send them a bulk email. And then step number 5, which is kind of optional, is we will do a discovery call. Now, the next step involves inviting people who respond to our email for a 15-minute call where we will introduce ourselves while also qualifying them to see if they are a good fit for us or not. Because if they are a good fit, we can schedule a sales call with them, which is step number 6, which I'll cover. And we can send them your VSL at the end as a gift, and this will warm them up even more before the next call. So what happens is, once somebody responds to our email, right, we will do a quick 15-minute call where we will introduce ourselves, what we do, we will qualify them to see if they are a good fit for us, and then at the end of that call, we will send them our VSL video. Like, remember that low fidelity MVP funnel that we created earlier? Well, we'll send them that and we will say that, hey, please watch this video before you get on our sales call, which is step number 6. And imagine you have introduced themselves, you have qualified them, and they have seen that video as well. Imagine the likelihood of them converting. Like, it's like hot melting butter. Like, that's how easy it's going to be for you to close these clients, because they'll be piping hot, right? So that's why step 6 will be easier for us, because now we have introduced ourselves, we have sent them a VSL, and now we do the sales call, which is a 45 to 60 minute call. Now you could call this a sales call or a strategy session. I will keep hovering around both of these words in this particular program, but it's one and the same thing. Now this is a 45 to 60 minute call where we go about strategically asking questions to our qualified leads and then pitching them our advice or service at the end. That's literally how simple it is, right? If they are a good fit, we send them our VSL, we get them on a call, and then we basically do a sales call with them so that we could pitch or advise or service to them. And then step 7 is close. If all things go well in step 6, right? If the sales call goes well, your hypothesis of week 1 makes sense to them, and you follow our script, which will be shown later in the program, the client would be more than happy to make the payment at the end, and you would have a sale. Okay. Now, step 8 is, let's say, they do not buy. What if they don't buy? What if people don't reply to my emails? What do I do then? In case the prospect doesn't reply to our email, show up to the call or purchase, we follow up with them more till the time they move to the next stage of the funnel. If they opened their email but did not reply, we make them reply. If they replied and they did not book a discovery call, we make them book a discovery call. If they do not show up to the discovery call, we make them do that so that they come to the sales call. And if they do not show up to the sales call or they do not buy, we make them do that. Our goal is to keep following up till the time we have the final goal achieved, which is closing the deal. That's the main goal. So this is how it's going to work. Number 1, you have hypothesis, right? Like, that's step number 1. So what we will be doing is we'll be using different kind of websites like Google, Yelp, or whatever, wherever your client hangs out, right? This will be different to everybody. That's why if I try to make a list of all the websites on planet Earth, it'll be impossible, but yours will be customized, and refer to your client access channel worksheet for this. Okay. So step number 1, you hypothesize that, okay, my client could be on Google, my client could be on Yelp, my client could be on clutch.io or any other kind of website where they might hang out, right? Then the next step is prepare. Once we know, okay, they are here, right? Now, how do we prepare for this? Well, we follow this guide that I've already covered. You set up your professional email, hello@rohanthavan.com or whatever, and then you set up your Gmail and have everything ready so that we could start sending these people bulk email, okay? Very important. And then we start collecting the emails of these people. Now we will have a spreadsheet that would look something like this. where we would just begin collecting their emails. We would go to Google, Yelp, and all those websites. We would scrape out their data and we would start putting it in the spreadsheet so that we are ready to blast email them. Okay. And then we will start approaching them. Okay. This is how the approach would look like, as you can see. The fact is, what I'm sharing with you, this is what we have actually used. This has been proven to work. Like, I'm going to show you step by step how this exact email turns into a sale. Okay. We just send an email to somebody saying that question about your company name. We just say, hey, first name, I recently came across your company on whatever platform like LinkedIn, Facebook, Yelp, or whatever, and was impressed with what you are doing. Congrats on working with dash kind of client, right? That's what we said. I'm a growth consultant at Uability, where we help digital marketing agencies get consistent, predictable, and reliable high-value clients across the globe. This is done by using a combination or putting together an inbound and outbound marketing system that you are learning, by the way. So designed to produce qualified appointments, even if you don't have gazillions to spend on marketing, right? Pretty awesome. Now, in addition to this, we work with your sales team to maximize conversions using our proven strategies and everything, right? A proven methodology that we have carefully designed after doing a lot of calls and everything. And to date, we have worked with 7-figure clients like 1% AMTG. I'd love to learn what you're doing right now to find clients. I'm sure we can help you double or triple the amount of clients you're getting, just like how we helped our client Pulkit Travel, founder of Digital Sutra Agency, hit over 8 lakhs net consistently per month. And then if you want to learn more, just get in touch with me or just simply reply to this email. I'm also happy to answer any questions you might have regarding client acquisition. Thanks and have an awesome day. Like, that's literally what we sent, okay, to this particular individual. And you will see that. So after, the next thing that happened was, like, after we send this email to them, and you will learn how to send this email, this is what happened next, right? They said, hey, Sunny, the email was impressive and it didn't look like a cold email with so much information about the company. Thanks, please tell me more. So then we said, hey, first name, thank you so much for reverting back promptly, and I'm glad that you liked our initial email. To explain you briefly, we at Uability help agencies grow faster and reach their desired clients that pay higher than the industry standards. And are you available sometime this week? I'd love to get on a quick call with you, get some insights, and share the most appropriate strategy that can benefit your business, right? And then they said, okay, let's connect today. And then they gave the number, whatever their phone number was. Obviously, I can't reveal that, but that's what they sent, right?
So after, you send your email, basically what will happen is your client will send you over an email, something like, hey, okay, contact me here, or let's do a call, or yeah, let's catch up quickly on Zoom or Skype or whatever, right? Now, in this case, or in this particular scenario, they gave us like the phone number. So what we did is we just literally picked up the phone and called them. And, if needed, we qualified them as well. First, we introduced who we are, what exactly we, what we do, and then we ask them some questions and then give them a little bit hook that, okay, if you can solve their problem, then you just invite them to the next step. But if you can't solve their problem, or in case they don't have the money or they don't have the pain or anything like that, then you basically just don't do anything, right? So you just thank them for the time. So over here, what you need to do is you need to call the prospect up, and you need to use the discovery call script that was taught to you in the previous week, and you need to qualify them. And again, this step is optional if you think like, for example, the CEO of Tata replies to you, right? Obviously, they don't need much qualification and you could get to the main call, right? So, and of course, if the CEO of Tata is your target client, right? So the point of the matter is you only qualify the people who you think need qualification, and you do this discovery call and you use the script that was taught to you previously. And then let's say, somebody is qualified, right? Let's say that, okay, this person was qualified and, they are a good fit. So now you invite them to a main call of 45 to 60 minutes, which would be your sales call. And over that call, you'll be making them the pitch, right? Now to invite them and to make this more formalized, right? What you would do is you would want to book an event on Calendly by going to your apply page and then manually either manually filling in the information on their behalf or just sending them the link so that they could schedule a call
based on their availability, right? So that's totally your choice. The easiest thing that we do is like while we are on a discovery call, we just like ask them the relevant questions that are given on this application and the things that we need to know. Like, for example, if somebody's on a call, we'll just be like, so what's your best preferred email? Or what phone number would you like to use? Or, okay, so what's your LinkedIn profile? Okay. And the main problem is this, right? So things like that. So we would just like manually fill the application on their behalf just to save them time and just to reduce friction. But you can also send them directly your link so that they could book a call. So after discovery call, if somebody qualifies, we book them for a sales call. And before the sales call, right, we need to ask the person to please see our VSL video before the call, right? So as you can see in this email, we just send, thank you for your time. So this email was sent after the discovery call was done and before the sales call. After the discovery call was done and before the sales call, this email was done, sent, right? So it says, hey, first name, hope you are doing well. Sunny here from Uability. Here's the link to our Indian clients and international clients that we have worked and helped with to help them increase their profit/revenue. As per our discussion we had on the call today, which was the discovery call done by Sunny, I have shared the inputs you provided with my team, and our team will provide the best strategy for you and will share it with you on Tuesday on a consultation call for absolutely free, right? I think this call was rebooked from Tuesday to Thursday, but ignore that, right? This is the template, and then we would really appreciate if you watch our training video before joining the call, and you can click here and see it and be in front of a computer/laptop with internet access. And please have all your business partners or any other decision makers on the call. Thank you so much, right? So we have given the prospect clear instructions that look, after the discovery call, we send them this email. We even say this on the discovery call, but we send them this email. Hey, you need to watch this video, right? Before we do the sales call, right? Before we do this call that's booked over here, right? You need to see this video. If you do not see this, or if they do not see this, the chances of them being closed on the call is lower, right? So make sure you send this email, make sure that they see this video, VSL video that you see over here that we have already created. And then comes the sales call, right? So this is the main thing where we'll be pitching them and hoping that the deal closes, right? So this would be a 45 to 60 minute sales call where we would basically ask them further questions, get to know more about them, understand their problems, their pain and everything else. And then what we do is we basically use the sales call script that was given in the previous week to close these clients or to close these people, right? Which would be very, very effective. And this is going to help you out. And if you do this correctly, literally by the end of this call, they would end up paying you money. And if you screw this up, then obviously they won't pay you the money, right? And of course, the reason why they would pay you the money is because you already qualified them, right? By doing this discovery call, right? You already qualified these people, right? You made sure that they were a good fit for you and you are a good fit for them. And then you basically send them these reminders. And then you also told them to watch this content from your side so that they are like, even the lead is like hotter, right? They're more likely to convert. And now comes the sales call where you basically, spend more time with them, ask them more questions and gave them the exact solution, explained them in the perfect manner. And what ends up happening is you would, if you do this correctly, you would end up closing them, on the call. Pretty effective. And if you want to know what exactly to say on the sales call, just literally watch the previous week. I have given you the entire script and I show you exactly how to do this.
And now comes the 7th part, close. And this is literally, I can't reveal more information about this. Apologies, but literally this is what happened next. They ended up making the payment. The person got on the call first. Like literally, if you backtrack it, if you just look at it, we just got their information, retrieved that information, right? We sent them an opening email, right? We did a discovery call with them to basically give a little bit introduction, qualify them if they are a good fit. Then we invited them to a sales call, booked a 1-hour session and told them to watch this video. We got on the call with them and then we basically closed them and they ended up paying us. Literally how it works. Now, there would be certain people who
don't end up paying you. Those people might require follow-ups, or chances are there might be people who don't even respond to your email or don't even open them. So we follow up with them just like this. For example, hey Shubham, I know you're busy. Just bumping this up, right? So just trying to bump my email up, just following up with you, what's the situation and everything. So we do consistent follow up with these people to ensure that they end up getting on a call with us. So now let's talk about cold approach KPIs and visual map. How does it look? And this is how it's going to work, right? And again, this map is available for you for download in the resources section. So approximately this is how it's going to go. We will begin by sending an email. Let's say that the email sent were 2000 emails. Now, two of the scenarios will happen. Either people will open the email or they will not open the email. Now let's say email opened out of these 2000 that we send is around 700, right? Which is around 30 to 35% of the people opening up the email, because 30 to 35% of 2000 is 700. That's the reason why this is over here. Now, this will also include people who do not open up your email. We send them a follow-up, as you can see, and we get them to basically open up our email. Pretty straightforward. Now, out of the people who open up our email, there will be two types: people who respond and people who do not respond, right? People who do not respond, of course, we follow up with them and eventually get them on a discovery call. And people who do respond, in total, what's going to happen is people who respond would be around 70, which is around 10%. These are the average industry stats that we got after doing a lot of testing. Out of 700 people, only 70 people would respond. That's only 10%. And that's completely normal. Don't freak out. It's a numbers game. Okay. A lot of people start wondering, oh, why are people not opening my email, or what's Relax. Number one, either you didn't send enough emails, or number two, this is how it works. This is the math behind it. Now, these 70 people, we would invite them to a discovery call after following up as well. So the lead would either show up to the call and lead would be qualified for a sales call, or the lead would just not show up or would just not be qualified. So the fact is that we will do discovery calls with around 40 people out of 70, and the disco percentage would be around 50 to 60%. This means that out of all these 70 people, around 50 to 60% of the people would either show up and be a good fit for a discovery call. So that's what we do. 40 people we do a discovery call with. And then comes the sales call. This is the call where we will be making the pitch with the hopes of selling our advice or service, right, and closing the deal. Now, what's going to happen is qualified leads that show up from a discovery call, right, from that 15-minute call, the calls that show up to the sales call, right, these are the stats. 30 people would be qualified out of these 40, around 70%, right? Rest of them, we will either say no, or they would just not show up to our main sales call. Again, we follow up with them and with the hope of getting them to the call. Obviously, we do that. But out of that, after the follow-up, around 30 people out of 40 people should show up, around 70-ish%. And out of that, we will end up closing 5 to 6 deals with a closing rate of 15 to 20%. So out of these 30, we would close around 5 to 6 with a closing rate of 25 to 30%. And obviously, those who do not buy, we will follow up with them and hopefully get them to close. So as you can see, it's out of 2,000 emails we sent, we got like 5 to 6 people filtered out who would be a good fit for us. And these are the math behind it, right? This is how it looks like, right? And this is the map that you will have to basically follow to achieve the desired outcome that we have set for yourself. So again, go through this map and have it in front of your screen so that you know, okay, this is how it's going to work. And to basically remind you of your goals and to help you out with this journey, I have given you access to outbound KPI and goals, a spreadsheet available in the downloads in the resources section below. So literally, this is how it's going to look like, right? So you can reverse engineer your goals literally by looking at the data that's given over here. And before you even begin the process of outbound cold approach, make sure that you list your goals clearly on this document, otherwise you will be lost. If you do not do this, you won't have anything to chase, and then demotivation will happen, and then nothing will be done. So the first thing you have to do is just write down what is your revenue target, right? You want to make 5 lakhs, you want to make 2 lakhs, whatever it is. Let's say it's 2 lakhs, okay? 2 lakhs it is. Your client LTV, this means 1 lakh you are selling for your advice or service. Let's say, you charge 50,000 per month, right? And a client stays with you for 2 months, right? So the total client LTV would be, lifetime value would be 1 lakh. Now, if you're charging one-time fee of, let's say, 1 lakh rupees, so that's something you can just write over here. So number of clients needed to achieve that target would be 2, right? And then we could reverse engineer from here. And you will notice that everything else will be auto calculated for you, because now you don't have to do anything at all, because this is all done for you. And this will tell you that you need these many emails to achieve your target, right? Around 866 emails you need to send. Email open rate would be around 30%. You don't need to touch this, right? This means that 250 people will need to open your email. So if you send these many emails, these many people will have to open it. 10% would respond, don't touch that. This means 26 people will need to respond to your email. Out of this, we will do a discovery call with 14 people. Don't touch this. And you need to do a total of 10 calls, 10 sales calls, 45 to 60-minute pitches that we will do in a month to achieve a target of 2 sales and basically achieve 2 lakh rupees in total revenue, considering that we are selling for 1 lakh rupees. Now, again, you can adjust your pricing based on what you are selling at, right? So pretty helpful tool that you can use. Don't use these other ones because right now we haven't covered those, but for now, just focus on this. Have the goals ready, print it out, put it in front of your computer, look at it every day, and just do the daily activities. Like literally, that's all you have to do in order to achieve this goal. And then tracking cold approach activities. Like how do we go about tracking all this stuff? Well, I've given you access to something called as the cold approach tracker as well. Again, available for you in the download section in the resources below. And this is how it's going to look like. So what you have to do is literally fill in every single day. You have to fill in the data, right? But basically what's going to happen is, right, this is the sheet where you'll be sending emails every single day, right? And you will be basically creating duplicates of every day. So as you can see, if you send an email on 1st January, you will have a sheet on its own. If you send an email on 2nd January, it'll have its own sheet. So let's say on 1st January, you send an email to 2 people, right? So what you would do is, let's say that actually on 1st January, you sit down and you collect 11 emails, okay? So if you collect 11 emails on 1st January, let's just go to January, right? You will type 11 over here because you collected 11 emails on that day. I would recommend doing a lot more than that, but still. And then let's go to the sheet, first email, 1st January. Let's say that you send out of those 11 emails, you send out an email to 2 people, right? That you see over here. So emails sent, how many did we send on that day? We just sent 2, right? So we just write that. And to help you out, let me just zoom this, right? And this gray cell will be calculated automatically, right? Now let's talk about how many people opened our email. You would notice that if I go to data and actually not add-on, sorry, and then yet another mail merge, open tracking report. Now this software will give you the details. Now how to integrate that software and everything, literally follow this guide, already show you everything over here. But let's see over here, okay? We have people who opened our email would be 1. It literally says over here, 1 email, right? Because 1 person opened our email. And we have to check this day stats every single day, right? Every morning at 8 a.m. you would wake up and look at yesterday's data, right? So what you would do is, I would look at, if today is, actually technically I should be tracking on 1st January, I should be tracking 31st December's data. And on 2nd January, I should be tracking 1st January's data. But for now, let's just like keep it simple. And just to make you understand the point, this is how it's going to work. So emails opened, how many emails were opened on 1st January? Let's look at that. Yeah, 1 email opened, right? And we'll just type 1 over here. And then how many people responded to our email? 1, because you can see literally over here, it says 1, right? And then discovery calls. Let's say we did 1 discovery call with that same person on the same day, right? But the thing is, we were unable to do a sales call with them because they were busy that day. And let's say we booked a sales call with them for 2nd January. So on 2nd January, once we do a sales call with them, we will mark this as 1 and just write it there. And then let's say on 2nd January, they ended up paying us money. So we could just type 1 over here. And let's say they ended up paying us 1 lakh. And let's say that they opted in for a split payment option and said that, you know what, can you do 50,000 right now, 50,000 next month? We do that, and then that's 50,000. Okay. So this is how you're going to track every day. So on 2nd January, you would track 1st January's data. On 3rd January, you would track 2nd January's data. 4th January, you would track 3rd January's data. 5th January, you would track 4th January. So yesterday's data, you have to track every single day to make sure that you are on the correct path towards success. And if you don't do this, right? If you don't do this, I can promise you, you will not know where you're going and you are destined to fail. This is the cold approach tracker that's been available in the download section or in the resources section that you can download below. Okay, so do that. And that being said, here's the summary of this entire lesson and what we covered today. Well, first we discovered what exactly is cold approach. We discussed about the pros and cons, who should use it, and why it's so powerful. I literally showed you how I started off with this approach and how I still use it till date with usability every day. And how I showed you exactly how does cold approach work, the nuance behind it, and everything else. I showed you the exact step-by-step guide of generating calls using this approach. In fact, I gave you an entire document with each and every step covered in micro detail. Literally, if you apply this, you would make so much money, like you'd be laughing, right? And then I showed you the cold approach KPIs and I gave you the entire visual map of this as well, that I told you that, okay, if your goal is this much, this is how much work you have to do to achieve the given target. If you don't do that, you won't achieve the goal. And then tracking every day, right? If you don't track if you're moving towards your goal or not, then how would you know if you're succeeding or not? You would already fail, right? So I showed you how to track that. Every morning, 8 a.m., wake up, look at yesterday's data and track it. Okay, how many emails did you send yesterday? How many people opened it? How many people responded? Just write that down. And your to-do list is very simple, right? Just collect at least 500 to 1000 verified emails depending upon your goal, generate at least 30 sales calls, follow up with those people who don't show up or respond, and focus on getting at least one sale using the method that I've taught you today. That's literally about it, okay? You just need to get one sale to validate this, and then later on you can move to inbound paid marketing as well, but at least get one sale. But if you can get more, why not, right? Just do it. And again, I say 500 to 1000 verified emails over here because that's the minimum I would recommend. Okay. Now, rest depends upon your goal. I've given you the sheet that auto calculates everything for you. So it's time for you to just do some work now, right? I've crossed 80% of the bridge for you. 20% is left. And I trust you that I know you can do it. Okay. Don't disappoint me. And let's get your first client. Like by the end of this lecture, by the end of this, whatever tenure that you're setting for yourself, I want to see you have your client fast. So thank you so much for watching this video till the end. You have been really patient about it so far. And I look forward to seeing you in the next lecture where I'll be teaching you more approaches to approach your clients and get them on a call and close deals. So I'll see you there. Bye-bye.